Hello, all of you gamers, professional and casual out there in the world. I am MegaAmpster. Thank you for clicking on this video if you did. Always great to see you here. If you're a returning viewer, if you're a new viewer, welcome. Welcome to the channel. Hope you're having fun. But anyways, shout out to the last subscriber, by the way. But anyways, wanted to make a little discussion video about this. Just a hopefully not too long, hopefully a little quick one about the Game of the Year at the Game Award nominees coming up. We got this tweet from the Game Awards here saying that on Monday, just in what, 4 days? If I could do math. In 4 days, we will have the nominees for the Game Awards. And I imagine this means all awards, but I specifically wanted to talk about, you know, the main thing, the assumingly six this year, again, like they did in previous years, 6 nominees for the Game of the Year for 2022. Now, I have some ideas here. Obviously, we gotta think the way that the Game Awards committee does, right? A little bit of bias, gotta throw a little bit of bias in there. Gotta look at Metacritic, you gotta look at those critic reviews, and have certain bias towards certain companies. So with that, not to get too no, Overwatch 2's on the list, not to spoil anything. So what I did was I looked at Metacritic, right? Best games of the year. Apparently, Portal Companion Collection's #1. I love that. No, obviously it is tied with Elden Ring right at the top. Elden Ring is a no-brainer. It's going to be there. Jeff is obsessed with it. Everybody was obsessed with it. I think it's probably going to win. There's like a solid 80% chance this game is going to win Game of the Year this year, and there's 100,000% chance it's going to be nominated. There's no way it's not. You know, it's gonna happen. It'll be there. Now, Persona 5 Royal, kind of a re-release, so probably won't want to count those. But God of War Ragnarok is the only other potential game that could beat this one out. So obviously it's been a big deal now, a little bit of recency bias in there. Really good review score. This is the only game I think that has a chance of beating out Elden Ring for Game of the Year. Maybe not a huge chance, like, I don't know, 20, 30% maybe, but like, I think there's definitely a chance. There's a lot of positive buzz around the game right now. And there's been a lot of hype building up to it, you know? So that I definitely think that it's obviously gonna be nominated, no doubt. It's gonna be the Sony game, if anything, that's gonna be nominated. And so we will see how it actually happens. Maybe it'll beat it. We don't know. I wish Sonic Frontiers is not getting nominated. I wish. For some awards, sure. It better get nominated for like soundtrack. If they count Cuphead DLC, like we're playing right now, maybe they'll count that for music too. In terms of other stuff, I don't know. They shouldn't. They're counting all the re-releases and stuff. Stanley Parable, maybe, I don't know. But in terms of, I think an indie game would show up next. So originally, right? For me, this is tough because Tunic came out earlier this year, and apparently Tunic was really good. Oh, this is the Switch version? That doesn't seem right. Should be like Xbox or something, right? Or I guess PlayStation's coming out soon, I think, or if it's not out already. But originally I was debating about Tunic, because usually there's like an indie type game nominated for the Game of the Year every year. We had, last year was It Takes Two, the year before was Hades, and I know there were some others in previous years. It could be Tunic, but honestly, and I don't know if this is technically considered indie, let me know in the comments if it's not. Neon White, this was published by Annapurna, came out this year. A lot of good buzz around it. I know a lot of games that Jeff tends to like actually like talk about too and kind of promote. Also, I feel like get a little more bias towards being nominated for a Game of the Year, and honestly, he did promote this quite a bit. I don't even know if he might have mentioned Tunic like once in Summer Games Fest or something, and based on the review score, like 90 is really good for this kind of game. I think this might be our quote-unquote indie game for 2022. Let me know what you think about that. It could be Tunic. I probably would prefer to see Tunic, but I haven't really played Neon White, so I can't really say, but heard a lot of good positive words around it, so it's definitely possible, but I think Neon White might be that, kind of fill that spot, you know? Deathloop was last year. Okay. So, Nintendo games, right? There were a lot of good Nintendo games that came out this year. There usually tends to be a like Nintendo Switch game that gets nominated. Obviously, last year's Metroid Dread. I don't even know what it was the year before. What was it the year before? Was there anything? 2020? I don't think Age of Calamity was nominated. Was it? I don't even remember what was nominated that year, to be honest. Nintendo had a weird year that year. Oh wait, no, Animal Crossing. There's no way Animal Crossing wasn't nominated, right? Somebody let me know. I guess I could look that up later. And you know, in previous years, like Smash Ultimate, it was nominated. Breath of the Wild, of course, and that won. So there's probably going to be Nintendo. We have a lot of Nintendo games this year, right? There's a lot of pretty well, I mean, in the top 100, there's a bunch of them. We got Kirby the Forgotten Land. I don't know if Legends Arceus is actually up there. Bayonetta 3's up there. I mean, Splatoon 3's got to be up there, especially for Japan. I don't know if they're going to count Scarlet and Violet that are coming out in like just about a week here, but there's also Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Now, in previous years, the Game Awards has had a little bit of bias towards specifically like JRPGs and racing games. At least that's what I've noticed. And there's been a lot of times, like for example, 2017, like Xenoblade Chronicles 2, like I don't even think the game was mentioned at all during the Game Awards, which is kind of weird. And there's been a bunch of other JRPGs that just really don't see. It's mainly a Western-focused presentation. It really seems like, even though it's technically global, it really seems like a Western-focused event. However, and maybe this is a bit of a stretch. Let me know if I'm stretching a bit here. I think this might be the year where we break that. I think Xenoblade Chronicles 3 might be the Nintendo nomination for this year. I'm hoping for the fans, and honestly, I think it could happen. I think there is a chance, and I honestly, I think it could. Compared to the other games, I mean, unless Pokemon could beat it out, like maybe Legends Arceus could beat it out. I don't know if Scarlet and Violet will count. Kirby's great, but like, and Bayonetta is great too, but I don't know if they're gonna be up there. Splatoon maybe, but honestly, I think Xenoblade might do it. Just, I mean, 89. You can't disregard that. You can't ignore that. It's gotten a really good rap in terms of like the, you know, like different opinions from people. Apparently, it's a ridiculously good game, and honestly, like, if they ignore this game this year, I'm just gonna be like, yeah, okay, there's totally a bias against like JRPGs for sure. But I think it has a pretty good shot. We'll see when they announce the nominees here, but I think it has a good shot, and I want to believe for the fans. I want to believe it. It would introduce a lot more variety too into the Game of the Year discussion. So I'm hoping. I'm gonna say it's getting nominated for the Nintendo spot. I think I'm gonna say it's gonna happen. All right, spot number 5. Right, we got Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Neon White, Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Last of Us Part 1 was throwing me off for a bit because, I mean, technically the original game came out, what, 9 years ago, I think? 2013, maybe? This is technically like a remake? And I know Jeff is, you know, obsessed with Naughty Dog and The Last of Us, but, like, I feel like Jeff is aware that if they nominated it for the Game of the Year, I feel like he's aware that, you know, people will be like, oh, this is a retread. I mean, I think, wasn't Resident Evil 2 the remake nominated? But I think that seems like, I don't know. The lines are blurring so much between remakes and remasters and ports and all this stuff. It's getting worse and worse and worse. And this game really doesn't help. But I honestly, I don't think this game will get it. I think what will take this spot will be Horizon Forbidden West. Because, I mean, this game was obviously early this year. It got a lot of good buzz, you know? It was definitely buried by Elden Ring a good amount, but I think, you know, it still seems people are pretty hot on it. I mean, 88's a really good score. We got Last of Us Part 1 also at 88. Not that we always have to go based on review scores, but honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if the Game Awards Committee does that, you know, to actually make it more like an objective thing. They base it off of a list a little bit. I think this is going to get that other kind of Western spot, you know? I think it's going to happen. Is it a little similar to God of War? Sure, but I mean, did it really stop them in previous years? I don't think so. Like, I think the main reason, I feel like Jeff knows the controversy with this game, and that it technically is just like bringing the new game into the modern era, and from what I understand, not changing a whole lot, whereas Forbidden West is just a brand new experience, and a really good brand new experience at that, from what I've heard. So I think that's gonna get a spot. The last one, I just looked this up, but apparently it's not even on Metacritic, so I'll just pull it up here. But the last one I'm thinking is Modern Warfare 2. Right now, this game just came out recently, and apparently it's gotten good buzz. Apparently it's a really good game. Personally, I don't want to see a COD game get nominated, but I think it's going to happen. For me, in my mind, it was either this or Overwatch 2. I feel like one of those two is going to get slotted in there for the variety's sake and be like, oh, it's Activision, boo. So I think that's going to happen. You know what I mean? What is this music here? I think it's going to happen, and I think, you know, actually, you know what? This music is pretty fitting for this part. But I think Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 is going to beat out Overwatch 2, because Overwatch 2, I know there were a lot of issues at launch. Now, I'm not a pro Overwatch player, so I can't say, but there was a good amount of buzz in it, and people are playing it for sure, but I don't know if it's kind of a similar, not quite exactly the same. It's definitely more original than Last of Us Part 1, but I feel like Modern Warfare 2 probably has more going for it. A little bit more recency bias too, only slightly, but I think this has a better shot of getting, so I think this is going to be spot number 6. So my guess, essentially, my predictions, they're totally going to be wrong. There's only 2 that I know are going to be there, and that's Elden Ring and God of War Ragnarok are totally going to be in there, but I'm also thinking Neon White. We're going to go Xenoblade Chronicles 3, Horizon Forbidden West, and then Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. I think that's going to be the 6th. at least my predictions. Let me know in the comments below what your predictions are. Let me know if you think I'm completely off my rocker, because I could be. I don't know every single game that came out this year. I'm just basing this off of conversations that I've been aware of and a list of ranked games for this year that doesn't really mean much in the great scheme of things. So that's all I'm basing it on. Maybe Portal Companion Collection is going to be #1. Maybe that wins Game of the Year. If we're going off of Metacritic by technicality, it should win. It's right there. No, I'm just kidding. I honestly, in terms of which one I think will win, I think it's going to be Elden Ring. I think God of War Ragnarok has a decent shot at beating it, but I don't think it's a big enough shot to beat Elden Ring. I think Elden Ring is going to win. And you know what? If it does, hey, I'm fine with that. I know Xenoblade's not going to win, but like I think it could be. I very well think it could be nominated. I know it might sound crazy. I think it could. But let me know what you think in the comments below as we play out with this weird creepy song. Let me know what you think about these predictions. Let me know if, yeah, like I said, if I'm completely crazy, or if you have any other predictions that maybe I didn't consider. Maybe I just forgot about some games. I don't know. Who knows? But anybody saying this, just a reminder, anybody who says 2020 was a down year for games, what the fuck are you talking about? There was way more games this year than last year. So I'd like to see you argue against that. But anyways, have a good one. I will catch you all on the next video or live stream. You know I'll be doing a live reaction to the Game Awards. If I'm around, I should be. Should be a lot of fun. So we will see. Until then, take care. See you all in the next video or live stream. Bye for now.